So welcome, Natalie. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're just going to be asking a few questions about the Exhausted to Energize method, which is a course that you finished with me recently, a 12-week course. So could you tell us a little bit about you and your home situation?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Natalie. I'm 28. I'm a mum of a 2.5-year-old, Harrison. I've recently moved to a new area. I don't know anyone here, but it's been a really good move and I absolutely love it. I work full time. I do a couple of days in London and most of the time at home. I'm a PA at a bank, so yeah, it can be quite challenging at times. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you. All right, so what was your health challenges before we started working together? Like, why was you looking for help?
I just didn't have any energy. I just found myself wanting to be in bed a lot of the time, not wanting to get out of bed. I would just rely on coffee. I'd be like, "Oh, I need a coffee to start my day."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just really, really tired. And it got to a bad point where I couldn't even bother to do anything. And you just can't be like that when you're a mum and when you're working.
Yeah.
So I needed to change.
Yeah. And was there anything else, or was like fatigue your main thing?
Fatigue was my main thing. Also my diet. What I thought was a balanced diet actually wasn't a balanced diet. So yeah, I just wanted to change that.
Yeah. And so before we started working together, had you tried anything to overcome that yourself? Like, had you tried anything to have more energy or change your diet?
Yeah, so I would try to go to bed a bit earlier, or I tried to drink a bit more water. I tried to have a bit more fruit and veg. I tried to cut down going out. But yeah, I don't know, it just wasn't really doing anything for me. I feel like I needed a dramatic change.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about why you joined the course. You actually knew someone who'd done the course before, didn't you? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've got a really good friend who did the course, and when I used to see her, she used to say to me, "Oh, do you want this turmeric latte?" or "Oh, do you want this lunch?" And just really, things that I would just never put together. And I'd be like, "No, I'm okay, thanks." And she'd be like, "Oh, it's really good for you." And she just had so much energy, and she was saying the same things that I've just said. She couldn't get out of bed, and she was so tired, and she was moody, and she was snappy. And yeah, when I felt like that, I did reach out to her, and she said it was the best thing she's ever done. Really good decision, and it's changed her life. So I thought, I want to do it because I want to change my life.
Yeah, so your friend, she had 3 boys, and so she was, well, exhausted, like you would be if you had 3 boys. I mean, you've got one, so you know what life is like working and having one, right? So
Yeah.
she was really, really drained. But that's amazing that was quite a long time ago that we worked together. So it's amazing that she's still getting the long-lasting benefits and still recommending it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. And when we catch up now, we know what we're talking about, and we're like, "Oh, have you tried this?" and "Oh, are you still doing that?" And yeah, it's really good. And she's got so much energy, and she's like much more happier. And yeah, it's really good to see.
Brilliant. Okay, so I would like to talk about money a little bit, because especially with women, we feel like I can't invest in myself, or I need to use my money for my children, or whatever it is. So could you tell us a little bit about how did it feel to actually pay for something for you? Like, did you feel guilty, or did you feel like I can't do this for myself? Tell us how that felt.
Yeah, I must admit, it is a monthly payment, which you could use for something else, or you feel like maybe you should be saving it, sort of given like the hard times. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it because I've heard really good things, and I need to be happy. I can't carry on like this. So yeah, it was a payment that I was a bit, but I just don't even think about it now. I think I'm a lot happier. I look at that payment every month and I think, well, I'm a lot happier. My body's happier, my little boy's happier, my partner can see a change in me. So yeah, I think it's worth it if you can obviously do it.
Yeah. So yeah, would you say then that you feel like now you've, like, it's scary before, and I'm saying this because I know, because I've invested in things, it's scary, you feel like I don't know whether I should, but at the end of the day, do you feel like it was a worthwhile investment?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. Let's find out a little bit about the course then. So first of all, how easy was it to follow? Because look, making big changes in your life, we know, is never particularly easy. So what was it like actually following the course for 12 weeks?
Yeah, I think the weeks go really fast.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have a call and you get all this information, and it can be overwhelming, and I sit there with my notepad. But then I sort of come away and I give myself an hour to look at that, and I really invest the time. So
Yeah.
you know, all the resources and the supplements or the food menus, and I kind of put time out to, you know, order it all and sort of get into the spring of it. I really like the break weeks. I think it's 3, 6 and 9, is it?
That's right. Yeah.
Just to like catch up on myself, and oh, I need to go back to that week, or oh, I haven't really been doing that this week. So yeah, I think they help. And also the weekly calls with you. Yeah, they just put you back, even though you had a couple of days, they just put you back into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to ask that, how did you find the accountability and support? Do you think, like, if you'd done this course, say, online by yourself, like self-led, do you think that you could have stuck to it in the same way and got the same kind of results, or has it been helpful to have the accountability and support?
Personally, for me, no, I've never really been good with online. I feel I've always been better. I'm a bit of a people person, so I like catching up with people, you know, if it's on a Zoom call or in person. So I would definitely say I love our catch-ups every week, and it's just more personable, rather than like an online one.
Yeah. And you've been able to use those calls a lot. We've spoken a lot about different people in your family or your son and helping them with health as well. Okay. My dog's in a bar.
That's okay.
Try and edit that bit out, maybe.
That's fine.
Yes, when you've come to the weekly calls, you have asked questions about yourself or other health little things that you've got going on at the time, or your son. So do you feel that's brought like an extra benefit to you, that it's benefited more than just you?
Oh, all day long. And I think it's just, yeah, I honestly think it's incredible, like the little hints and tips and tricks you've given me for him, have made such a difference. And I've noticed that where I'm happier, and I'm giving him healthier things, or I'm changing little, you know, habits, and I can see a change in him. I mean, obviously he's terrible too. We have the tantrums.
Yeah.
We do have the tantrums. But it's like all the other times, he just seems like he's got a lot more energy, and he's a lot happier, and just little things like his skin's cleared up, and yeah, so it is really nice to be able to talk to you about him as well.
Yeah. All right, so tell us about how it's gone with your health goals. So your main one, you were saying right at the beginning, is you were just tired all the time. So tell us a little bit about some of the benefits that you found. I mean, I really feel that every single week that you've come on, you've said, oh, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's so many. Tell us about some of the benefits that you've really had from these 12 weeks.
Yeah, so I would say I'm a lot more hydrated. I've definitely got a lot more energy. I'm just learning stuff. I'm learning things all the time. You know, little things. I used to go into the supermarket and pick something up, and now I look on the back and I'm like, oh, wow, what is all of that? What have I been putting into my body?
Yeah.
And then I look at, you know, an alternative one, and it's got half of the ingredients, and I'm like, right, I'm going to go for that one. So yeah, I'm definitely more curious what's in everything. I do want to be healthier, I really do, and so and it's made me a lot more disciplined. So sometimes I'm like, oh, do you know what I could really do with the fish and chips on Friday night, or a pizza, and then I think, no, I'm not going to have it, because it's going to make me feel horrendous, and I don't want to feel like that. So I'm going to have, you know, a curry that I'm going to make myself.
Yeah.
And then I just instantly feel so much better for having what I know has gone into it. So yeah.
So energy wise, can you tell us, you said you feel a lot better, but can you tell us, like, how is it easier to get up in the morning, or have you got more energy at the weekends, or are you more able to cook meals in the evening? Like, how is it showing up for you in your life, or more energy with your son?
Yeah, I can definitely get out of bed a lot happier and easier now. Um, it's just crazy. I feel like I've got a boost again. I feel like the old me, you know, prior to having Harrison. I just feel I can get out of bed of the morning. I'm a lot happier, and you know, put my music on, and I just feel like I'm ready for the day most days, even if there are, you know, little bumps in the road, you know, something's happened at work or Harrison's having a tantrum. I just feel like I've got more time for it. I think, oh, okay, like it's not the end of the world. And whereas before I would be so much snappier and just, oh, I can't wait for the end of the day. I can't wait to have a glass of wine, or I'm just not really like that anymore.
Yeah. So talking of a glass of wine, I do remember right at the beginning, it was like almost, I think you said, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but almost like a daily habit of, I need a glass of wine. And that has changed hugely. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't get it anymore. I do think, oh, like, oh, they're having a glass of wine, that'd be nice. But I don't crave it.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and say, I need that glass of wine. I don't get to a Friday and think, I need it.
Yeah.
I do have it on a Friday or over a weekend or a Sunday, because I think obviously the weekend I've been really good and we're with family and we're with friends. But I don't feel like I need a drink every day like I did before, because I'm just a lot more patient. And I'm just happier and haven't got those cravings, and it's definitely from what I'm putting into my body.
Yeah. And it's not just the alcohol, which were the cravings. You had cravings before, like you felt like you wanted sort of takeaway food a lot more often, and you said that that's really changed for you as well. So tell us a little bit about how your cravings have changed.
Yeah, I don't have the cravings for them anymore. I used to get them like every other day. I think, oh, can't wait for Chinese this Friday. Oh, should we get a pizza? Or I just don't have that anymore. I just think, no, I'd rather cook and know what I'm having. And even if we do go for a takeout, I just look, if we go out for dinner, I just try and get a healthier option. I do, because I know it's going to make me feel better.
It feels like freedom when you describe it like that you're not being driven by your cravings for alcohol or takeaways, which inevitably are going to make us feel bad the following days, especially if we're doing it often, and then we're going to get more colds because our immune system's going to be suppressed, and it's just like this vicious circle. So it sounds like that you've got more freedom in choice.
Yeah. And we're coming into sort of the cold season now, and everyone at work has got the sniffles or a cough, and obviously touch wood, don't want to speak too soon. But I just feel I do feel like I haven't had it yet. And every year, you know, I would get a sore throat or a runny nose or a cold or a headache. I get loads of headaches. I just haven't had that. And I want to continue that, because I don't want to feel I don't want to feel ill or fatigue or
You're remembering what it feels like to feel good, and you're like, want more of this.
Definitely.
I remember that jogged my memory for when you went on holiday, and you said every single time I've been on holiday I've been ill. So what used to happen on holiday, and what happened the last time?
I would come back with a cold. I remember one holiday I got airborne disease, I think it was. I was in bed for 2 weeks. I just always come back with something. I'd have, you know, a sickness on holiday. My stomach would just be crumbling inside just from, I mean, I don't even know, but this was the first holiday that I didn't get anything like that. Nothing. I just felt on top of the world. And when I come home, I was a bit, oh, am I going to get something? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
So we did speak about holidays and preparing and what you should take and the compromise. Obviously, like, we want to be imperfect on holiday. We want to have fun. So we spoke about balance, and also with nights out, because obviously you like to go out with your friends. And we spoke about how to not have a hangover, didn't we? And what you can have in your cupboard to help you and what you can have the next day. So this is all really important for like real life, how we really live, like imperfectly, right? And I think it's made a big difference. But what I would really like to ask you before we wrap up is, you have been super compliant. I've been telling you this all the way along, like an amazing client. You come along, you're there on time for your calls, you're sticking to everything, you're getting amazing results. And that isn't easy. And I think that you might have told us the secret earlier, because you said you've allowed yourself the time, you gave yourself an hour afterwards. But how have you managed to do that? Do you know?
I think having someone that I know has helped, and just seeing the results that she's had.
Yeah.
And just kind of watching your other reviews from your other clients.
Yeah.
And I've just been, when I hear those stories, I'm like, that's me. That is exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And I look at other mums and I think, how do you do it? Like, where do you get your energy from? And I just don't want to be that mum. And I want Harrison to be happy and healthy. And I need to be happy and healthy in order to do my job and be a good mum and a good friend, and just enjoy life. So I really wanted to, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing it every week. And yeah, it has been a bit overwhelming at times, because there is a lot of information and it's a whole new world for me.
Yeah.
But it's just been incredible, and I don't want to look back.
Amazing. Okay. Something else I wanted to ask you, it's just gone from my mind just then, but while I'm waiting for that to come back, I guess my last question is, what would you say to someone else who's thinking about the course? And especially, this is, I think, the case for lots of people. They think, not just yet, or maybe next year, or I can't afford it, or I'll try myself. What would you say to someone else who's thinking all of those thoughts about the course?
I would say it is a lot of money, because obviously it's not just the courses, it's like all of the resources on top, and obviously how far you want to take it.
Yeah.
So sort of like, replacing I don't know, makeup, or replacing your pots and pans, little things. You can decide that. So it can be a lot, but I would say it's one of, like, it's a life-changing investment in yourself. And you can help, your other family and friends around you. You can help the people that you live with as well. And yeah, it just gives you a different aspect to life. It really does. It's making you question a lot of things, and like, why is there that in that, or why are we using this, or actually, no, I don't want to use that. It just gives you a different aspect, and yeah, overall more energy, and you're a lot happier. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so what Natalie's referring to there is, we do a week when we learn about toxins, and toxins that are in our food and that are in our makeup and our skincare, and everything that we use is got a lot of toxins in. And Natalie took that very seriously. So not all my clients do immediately. For some people, they do it over a lot longer period of time. But this is what I was saying, that you were very compliant, and you seemed very interested in everything, and you wanted to learn, and you wanted to put these things into place. And that's what I was like when I learned about nutrition. I was like, huh? These pans are like bad for my kids' health. I need to change the pans that I'm cooking in. So yeah, then it is a long-term change. However, if we don't change these things, first of all, it's we're unknowingly causing ourselves harm. But then we find out about these things, and then we know about it. So then we can either choose to carry on causing ourselves this harm, knowing about it, or we can just say, okay, things have got to change. Now I've got the knowledge. I need to do better.
Yeah.
My last question was, you said earlier that you feel a lot less guilty about things. This is a big thing with women, so I wanted to find out about that from you. Is that we feel guilty for resting, or we feel guilty for not doing everything perfectly? We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And you said that you've started to feel less guilty. So less guilty about having a unhealthy snack, because we will do that sometimes, right? or less guilty about giving yourself time. So how have you changed your mindset over the past 12 weeks and given yourself more permission, which is what we all need to do?
Yeah, I just think with the course, you want to do it because each week you do start to feel better. So instead of the washing and the ironing, I'm like, no, I need to focus an hour on watching this video or ordering whatever I'm ordering. I just sort of carve time out because I know it's going to benefit me and everyone else around me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's mainly sort of the eating for me. Your diet's a big thing. So if I do have a bad snack, or if I do have Chinese, I don't feel bad the next day because I've built up my whole week of goodness. Before, I'd have a whole bad week of badness, and then I'd have a Chinese on top, and then I would feel horrendous after.
Yeah.
But now, because it's more goodness, and then you have that one bad thing, it's like, feel fine, don't get hangovers anymore. It's amazing. It's honestly amazing. Yeah, it's great. Really, really good.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us today. So are you going to be able to continue this? Because I feel the way I built the course over 12 weeks was to make small changes every week so it would be more sustainable, rather than like, here's loads of information, try and go and put it all in place by yourself, like helping you through step by step. And I want that to be so it's got long lasting results. Like you said, your friend, she's a couple of years in and she's still sticking to it. Do you think at this point that you are going to be able to keep up with a lot of the things you put into place?
Oh yeah, all day long. I think 12 weeks is a really good time. I think by week 2 I just started to feel a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And it got me excited for the weeks to come. I was like, oh, there's more. Wow, it's so interesting. So yeah, I think 12 weeks is a really good time to give yourself that change. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm 100% perfect, but I'm definitely a lot better than I was. Yeah. And I'm just a lot happier. So I will 100% continue that.
Brilliant. And you're going to continue in the membership now. So you've got that ongoing support and a community of women to support you and keep making the changes as well.
I think that helps, like when you've got people that are in similar situations to you.
Yeah.
I do like hearing from other women, especially mums, because I'm a mum now. I do like hearing from them and their stories, because a lot of the time you think it's just yourself dealing with, whatever you're dealing with. Yeah. But actually it's not. It's other women as well, and it's just nice to talk and hear other people's stories and what they're doing to make a change or a difference.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you once again, Natalie. Lovely chatting with you, and we will keep in contact. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.